Hey guys, Hunter Elliott here, rangehot.com. I'm working on the Just Right Carbine 9mm carbine as you would have it. So what I'm starting out with is this is some Defender ammo, just 115 grain FMJ, and about 10 or 12 rounds we're gonna put down range, just to see how the gun runs, and that way everybody can see where we're at with it. Alright, nice. So if you noticed, or if you didn't, this ships with a threaded barrel. And fortunately, it is 1/2 by 28. So, which is really cool for if you want to add any kind of accessories like flash hiders, what have you. But really and truthfully, in my opinion, a 9mm carbine begs for a silencer. So, what I'm working with here is the Liberty Centurion. And this is a pretty new can from Liberty. And it is a 9mm hole multi-caliber. So what we're going to do is run some rounds through this to make sure the carbine is reliable with a silencer on it as well. You know, you never know. You change a lot when you thread a can on the gun. So what I'm running here is the 33 round Giggle Stick, and these are some 124 grain Subsonics from Fort Mill Munitions. See if you can hear the difference as far as report. Good. Rolling.
All right, so I have a magazine full of some 115 grain Defender ammo. Let's see how this compares with the silencer, considering this is Supersonic.
Okay guys, here we are wrapping up the review on the Just Right carbine, 9mm carbine. I got my buddy Bo here. Bo has helped me with several past videos. He's actually got some rounds down range on this carbine as well. Thankfully, as many 9mm carbines, they run off Glock mags. This is the 33 round Giggle Stick, but it also worked well off the Glock 17, Glock 19, and Glock 26 mags, as well as the aftermarket mags like the Magpul P-Mag. For convenience sake, if you've got and carry a Glock 9mm sidearm and it's running a double stack magazine and you're looking for a carbine, something to put a little bit more ooey on that 9mm bullet coming out of the muzzle, then you've already got your mags and ammo picked out. Easy transition. It's actually pretty controllable. Now, one thing I want to point out, it does have an old school type quad rail, so you got 4 pick rails all on each side, which is great for adding stuff to the gun that it makes you want to feel it a little bit more comfortable to fulfill whatever role the gun is. But with that said, I highly recommend running this gun with a forward grip. Bo, what do you think about the way it's set up here in particular?
I liked it, and you touched on it, bud. The shorter handguard just gave it a real ease of balance and maneuverability. Put the forward grip closer to me, and I love the way it handled.
So, I mean, there you go. It's I see this as a really good, solid home defense type carbine. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. One kind of downside to it for me is it does not lock the bolt back on empty mag. It's kind of ugly. I'll be honest with you. It's not an attractive carbine. It's very, what I would say, overbuilt. If it runs good and it's ugly, to me that's not a huge deterrent.
I'll take it.
You know what I mean? Another really cool feature about this is it is ambidextrous. And what I mean by that is you've got a plate here where you can actually reverse the charging handle and the plate. So right now it's set up to shoot for a right-handed shooter, but within just a few minutes and a couple simple hand tools, you can convert this over for a left-handed shooter.
Like me.
It does have a 6-position collapsible stock, which kind of gets the footprint down a little smaller. Bo, you've got several magazines through it. What are your thoughts? What do you think about it? Shooting it or whatever. Do you have any issues with it or?
Not a bit. Light recoil, easy maneuverability, well balanced. I dig it.
So there you go. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Probably one of the coolest features is this thing is it's very easily disassembled. So I'm going to run the bolt home here. Everybody can see still, clear mag, empty chamber. Safety is no accident. I'm going to run the bolt home on empty chamber. First thing is spin this old school handguard off. Comes right off here. Barrel just comes right out. How cool is that? Step 2, you got a little tension screw here. You loosen that, and this whole buttstock comes out. Boom. And then there's your buffer. And so it takes a little bit of time to disassemble and assemble it, but still it allows you to disassemble a 9mm carbine into a small package that if you had to transport it somewhere and you didn't want to draw a lot of attention to yourself with a great big old gun bag, then it allows you to get it down in a smaller footprint. Here's a couple things that you need to be mindful of. I did show you how this thing breaks down, but you do need to be mindful of this handguard. You need to keep it snug, especially if you were considering mounting optics. You don't want this to interfere either way with trying to mount an optic where this Picatinny rail is bridged. So you're kind of limited where if it were me and I were going to mount any kind of optics, I would want to mount it on the pick rail above the receiver. This is fine for your front sight or whatever, but for your primary optics, like I say, right here on the pick rail above the receiver. Out at 100 yards, I did manage to get a couple groups with it, and they were about 6-7 inches. But the thing was, it was shooting pretty far left, even when I run all the adjustment out on the rear sight. So I think a lot of that has to do with, since this is so modular and the barrel comes in and out pretty easy, that, you know, this is not a bench rest rifle. I see this as, you know, home defense, 25, maybe 50 yards. So we did shoot it out at 25 yards and got some really nice inch and a half groups. So the last point I want to touch on is, like we talked about, it does use Glock mags, and y'all have seen me and a bunch of other folks run it with a 33 round Glock as well as a 17 round Glock mags. Here I've got a P mag. This is for the Glock 19. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a few rounds through these two mags. First one's the P mag. Second magazine is going to be for the Glock 26 mag, to show you that it works with all double stack Glock magazines, even aftermarket. And here I am, not quite 20 yards away on target, just to kind of give you an idea of how this thing prints offhand, almost 20 yards. All right. So as you see, still reliable. Has worked off both of them mags, no problem. You know, that's pretty rapid fire. I'm pleased with that. That's 12 rounds, just Defender 115 ball. So, like I say, this thing's got a lot going for it. Got a couple negatives, nothing huge, but for the most part, I'm pretty satisfied with it. You know, just got to be in mind of the set screw here. This has got to remain tight. That allows you to remove the buttstock as well as this portion of the handguard. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I look forward to seeing you at the range.